was concerned and obviously prepared to meet to find a replacement to bring to you tonight. And with the kind work of Michael Pohl and Ted Cummings, we were able to make short work of that. And we were able to take a telephone poll of the members of the nominating committee. And we're happy tonight to bring to you a nominee. Bethany Silver is our nominee to fill that position. And I'm going to move Bethany's name to be the candidate for the Board of Education. And I'm going to call him Michael Pohl for a second.
Chairman,
Thank you,
do
Kevin.
good work.
I'd like to ask the remaining candidates, Mr. Stafford, Mrs. Hackett, and Mr. Luxembourg, to join me in voting. First, Mr. Chairman, we want to thank Linette Small-Miller for her continued service to the people of the town of Manchester as a member of the Board of Education. We appreciate Linette's volunteer service to this community, and with great respect and understanding, Linette's having to decline another run for this very important office in our community. Linette, our hats are off to you. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, members of the Manchester Democratic Town Committee, fellow Manchester Democrats, family, and friends, it is with great pleasure that we, Mrs. Hackett, Mr. Stafford, Mr. Luxembourg, and I, the 2007 Democratic team for the Manchester Board of Education, stand here before you tonight to second the nomination of Dr. Bethany B. Silver as the Democratic nominee for the Town of Manchester Board of Education, term 2008 to 2011. We stand here together as a team with various strengths and interests and a solid desire to serve the people of Manchester in delivering the highest quality education possible to Manchester's young scholars. Tonight, we have an opportunity to add a candidate to the Democratic team that has tremendous credentials and a strong desire to help make Manchester schools even better. Bethany Silver holds a doctorate in educational psychology from the University of Connecticut. Having graduated Phi Kappa Phi, Bethany earned a master's in education from the University of Connecticut, focused on adults with learning disabilities. Bethany also earned a BA in English, magna cum laude, Phi Beta Kappa from UConn. I've known Bethany since 1980 when she attended Manchester Community College and served as president of the Manchester Community College Student Senate. A little known fact of this Democratic team is that with the addition of Bethany, we have 4 past Student Senate presidents: Steve Cassano, Kevin Zingler, Bethany Silver, and I have all had the distinct privilege of serving the students of MCC. And as well, I stand here tonight with Carl Stafford, an associate professor. Manchester must maintain strong ties with MCC, and adding Bethany to this team does just that. Dr. Bethany Silver has served in numerous positions of educational leadership, including Assistant Professor of Educational Leadership at Central Connecticut State University, Assistant Professor, Educational Leadership, and Director, Professional Development Academy, the NEAG School of Education at UConn. Dr. Silver has taught many courses both at UConn and Central, and as well at many community colleges. Dr. Silver has served as an education industry expert and consultant, and has served as a graduate research assistant for the Department of Education Psychology at UConn. Dr. Silver also has authored or co-authored several publications, including one that is patented on test management and assessment system and method. Bethany Silver currently serves as Manager of Data, Assessment, Evaluation, Technology Services Division for the Capital Region Education Council in Hartford. Bethany's married to Bill Silver and is the proud mother of Sophie, a 5th grader at Martin Elementary School, and Gavin, a 2nd grader at Martin. Bethany has been involved with the PTA at Martin for 5 years and has recently elected secretary of the Martin PTA. The entire Silver family, a family that has been dedicated to the Manchester community in various capacities for decades, stands squarely behind Bethany in her run for the Board of Education. Mr. Chairman, as the Board of Education sets policy to move the Manchester school system forward, as we make the delivery of education in the Manchester public school system more individual to all students, as we try to close the achievement gap, including the racial and economic gap, there is no doubt that Bethany Silver's dedication, commitment, and knowledge will be huge in moving Manchester's most vital resource, the education of our children, forward. Mr. Chairman, Mrs. Hackett, Mr. Stafford, Mr. Luxembourg, and I enthusiastically second the nomination of Dr. Bethany B. Silver as the Democratic nominee for the Town of Manchester Board of Education, term 2008 to 2011. Respectfully ask you to call the question and that this committee send Dr. Bethany Silver to the front of the room to join this team.
Thank you, Mr.
Just amazing. I think I'm going to see if I can get a copy of that. To read it to myself. I am very excited about this opportunity and very grateful to so many of the people in this room who are making this whole event and this chance to contribute to our town in this way a possibility for me. And of course, my husband Bill is probably the guy I owe the greatest amount of thanks to, so thank you very much, and my children and my beautiful niece. Without your support, I wouldn't have moved forward at all. And then the resounding enthusiasm from friends such as Dick Cormier and Mike Poole, certainly, and Peggy, my new very good friend, and the amazing support. Terry Bobley, without really knowing me very deeply, has agreed to co-chair my campaign committee with Dick Cormier, and I'm so grateful for that. My brother-in-law, Christopher Silver, has agreed to be the treasurer for my campaign, and I'm just so moved at the tremendous support and enthusiasm in this community. When I said I will consider running, it was resounding and so powerful. And if this is the beginning, I think that it's something I can do for a very long time and do very well. And Mr. Cummings met with me and was, again, really enthusiastic and supportive. And so I look forward to running for this office for the Board of Education and serving on the board with the expertise that I have and supporting the process of education for our young people and also our lifelong learners in our community. So I thank you very much for this nomination, and do I say accepted?
Sure.
And I accept it. So, yeah.
Great things that have been said about Bethany already, and I won't repeat them, but two things. When I was at her house with Mike a few Saturdays ago trying to convince her to run, and she said two things that struck me. The first is, I can just go on and really kind of resist the problems that we might be facing, or I can be part of the process to help. And I thought that was pretty profound, and I'm sure I'm not even saying it as profoundly as she did, but I thought that's a really good outlook for somebody who is running for public office to, instead of retreating and turning away, she wants to jump in and help. The other profound thing she said is, it's a really good thing my husband does all the cooking in this family. And I thought, well, that's good. Thank you.
No problem.
We'll be there.
Okay.